Resident Evil.
When I think of Resident Evil, I think zombies, mutated plants and animals, deep underground laboratories filled with all kinds of crazy experiments, scripted over-the-top action sequences with absurd bosses that you would realistically have no chance of defeating, and the dialogue. You can't forget about the cheesy dialogue.
I'm not gonna die on you, leave you in a cold, cruel, Carlosless world.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
So when I say Resident Evil 4 Remake is peak RE excellence, you best believe that you'll be in for a good time. Resident Evil 4 is a game about change. Much like its original, the remake offers many welcome adjustments like quality of life improvements and story changes. Despite being the fourth entry in the main series, there is no need to play the other games to understand RE4, but it does add to the enjoyment. Resident Evil 4's story is in large part a self-contained one. 6 years have passed since the Raccoon City incident. Leon Kennedy, a survivor and ex-cop of Raccoon City, finds himself in an isolated village somewhere deep in Spain, tasked with finding and rescuing the president's daughter. But Leon isn't the same person he was 6 years ago. He's grown into a much more daring and badass character over his Resident Evil 2 counterpart, and his actions and experience on the field reflect that. For him, this isn't just another mission, but instead, it's a grave reminder of what's to come if he fails his mission. He's tormented with these awful memories of Raccoon City, yet he's managed to turn that frantic night into motivation for his work, so he may never repeat the same mistakes. He's rash but confident, bold and cocky, believing to be the best, and he certainly leaves that impression.
Try using knives next time. Better for close encounters.
Visually, the game is astonishing. The once tempered and lively village is now a remnant of its old self, plagued with death and decay. By nighttime, the elements rage outdoors, bringing with them heavy rain and winds, with fire being the only source of illumination to guide you in the darkness. A small, somber lake sits between the village and an archaic castle, reminiscent of a grim fairy tale story. There are secrets to be found wherever you venture, and it's up to you to uncover them. Exploration feels a lot more engaging and rewarding. You'll find side quests littered throughout the game, given to you by the merchant, encouraging you to backtrack, allowing you to scavenge any resources you may have missed, and collect a sweet reward at the end. The map is truly the unsung hero of modern Resident Evil games, and it's no different here. Resources, quests, main objectives, and save stations are all conveniently marked, making navigating the map simple and straightforward. Though something not so simple, yet just as gratifying, are the characters this time around. Luis, Ashley, and most importantly Leon are much more fleshed out compared to their 2004 iterations. Watching Ashley transform from a cowardly, hesitant girl into a confident young woman not only takes away the burden of watching over her, it helps build her relationship with Leon and make it feel all the more natural. Likewise, Luis is given ample time to develop in the remake, offering much more than just comedic relief. The two bring out the best of Leon, giving us more of that playful and protective side of him that people like to see.
But you can't run. You gotta keep moving forward.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Hey, we're in a hurry, right? Oh, by the way,
What now?
hope you like thrill rides.
Sadly, Ada is still as cryptic and unnecessary to the story, serving only as a means to explain the next game, and is something I hope the DLC addresses.
So here's my question. Have you changed, Ada? Or are you just trying to use me again?
What do you think?
Perhaps my biggest gripe with the game would be its absence of immediate danger when it comes to its villains. Mendez, Salazar, Krauser, and Sadler are all unique and present their own goals and motivations. However, they lack that threat-inducing panic that characters such as Mr. X, Nemesis, the Baker family, and Lady D would impose.
The big woman still here?
In that same fashion, much of the game's horror is notably missing. There are far less jump scares and anxiety-provoking events throughout the game. That being said, the series has never been overly frightening. Though if you don't care about the horror, the moment-to-moment gameplay is where Resident Evil shines brightest. The key to playing Resident Evil 4 is momentum. Much like Village, this game puts a greater emphasis on action over horror. Because of this, puzzles take a step back in complexity compared to other titles, as the game would rather allocate your time with its combat, and there's a good reason for that. This more experienced Leon has more tricks up his sleeve that you need to familiarize with in order to keep up with the fast flow of combat. Enemies are far more aggressive and sporadic this time around. They'll throw axes, molotovs, dynamite, and arrows from you at a distance, charge at you with pitchforks and chainsaws. They'll try and dodge your attacks, predict your movements, and overwhelm you with their large numbers by climbing obstacles and using alternative routes to back you into a corner or even into one of their traps. To circumvent these issues, Leon comes equipped with an array of moves and tools to take control of situations. Quick, precision shots can save an encounter or two. Tap them on the head, and they may just stagger. Shoot them in the leg while they're charging, and they fall over. See someone in the distance about to throw an explosive? Line up your crosshair and watch the sparks fly. The new parry mechanic introduced with this remake is one of my favorite inclusions thus far. A nice quick parry can block incoming projectiles and help you recover from a losing fight if enemies get too close, saving you from a lethal hit and staggering them so you can retake your ground with a devastating kick. Stealth is an optional but welcome mechanic that can help you conserve your resources in desperate situations. Silent executions allow you to plan and prioritize any problematic enemies before any big engagements start, though this does come at the cost of some knife durability. Even in situations like these, the game is always encouraging you to adapt and match the momentum. Too slow and you'll miss an opportunity. Too fast and now you're in some deep trouble. It's a very meticulous game in the beginning, making sure every shot counts, debating if this heal is really necessary, and if your target priority is advantageous. But the more you play, the more things start to make sense, and the better your judgment becomes. Are your parries essential, or can you position yourself better? Do I kill a weak enemy with my knife to save some ammo? Or do I use my knife for emergencies? Everyone has different priorities and everyone has different resources, but the one thing everyone can agree on is from pistols to shotguns, rifles to SMGs, to grenades, gems, knives, and first aid kits, Resident Evil 4 will always have you wanting more.